Welcome to the third episode of the Gymbro podcast, where we interview personal trainers, bodybuilders, and anyone knowledgeable of fitness. This is the one and only bodybuilding club where we provide students with free personal trainers, competitions, and workout buddies. I'm Deanna, your host, and today I'll be interviewing Noah. Noah is a second-year finance student at the University of Ottawa with passion for fitness. Noah is also the VP of Marketing at the Gymbro Club. Hi, Noah. How are you?
I'm good. You?
Thanks for asking. I'm also really good. But could you start by telling me a bit about your journey in fitness and maybe what initially motivated you to start specifically bodybuilding?
Yeah, for sure. So as a kid, I was on the chubbier sides of kids.
Yeah.
I got picked on a little as a kid, and initially I was I must have been like 10, 11.
When you started going to the gym?
When I started getting an interest in exercise and like, lifting weights, and it was because my mom at the time, she got her own personal trainer, so she started working out, and I remember she came home one time and she had this tiny little blue dumbbell. It was this tiny little blue dumbbell, and it was like 5 pounds.
Yeah.
And I come back home from school and I start fucking laughing at her. I'm like, what is this? The tiniest thing. Like, you're not gonna get big as like using this thing. And she's like, oh yeah, okay, lift it then. I'm like, this is nothing. And then I hit, and she goes, go for like 20 reps. And I start doing 20, and then my arm starts getting sore.
You start tired, yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then immediately there it clicked, because like I don't know, like strength was like a really big thing. Like as a little kid, you're like, I want to be strong. Like, I want to be the kid who freaking carries the stupid chairs from the class, all this stuff. So it got in my head, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I need a lift. So it just started from there. I started lifting. I started just curling.
Those 5 pound weights.
The stupid 5 blue rubber dumbbell, and I was curling it. And I'm like, okay. I set myself goals. I'm like, I want to get to 100 reps with and then like it clicked after I hit 100 reps, but then I'm like, oh wait, I got to do the other arm. So then it just kind of piled on from there, and it was like home workouts.
Okay. Did you get more gym equipment, or it was the 5 pound weights for life?
No, I got more gym equipment.
That's
but
good.
It was a janky setup for sure.
Yeah,
really
and the basement setup for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you eventually ended up getting like a gym membership, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. At the time, I think I must have been probably 13.
Yeah. But that's young still. Yeah.
It was pretty young, but I was able to get my mom to like co-sign off of it.
Oh,
so I was
nice.
able to go to the gym
by yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. I had no idea what the hell I was doing.
Yeah.
Well, no, after a while, I knew what I was doing, but it was such a different like zone of comfort as opposed to at home with like tiny little dumbbells, a stool, a yoga mat.
Oh, okay, yeah,
and like the 15-minute ab circuit
that
you see on YouTube.
With all of the kind of more heavy lifting like equipment, I guess. Yeah. Okay, well then, and then after that, I'm assuming you kind of started being more regular and stuff, and like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once I started seeing progress, that was kind of it for me. As soon as I started seeing like, oh, like I can actually see my abs, or oh, I can actually lift more, then it like I just got hooked.
Yeah. And then how about COVID? What about in there?
Oh God, COVID was a freaking joke, man. COVID, it was just home workouts. It was all body weight stuff.
Yeah.
And like I was fortunate enough to have at the time we had bought some janky like bench press off of Kijiji.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so I was working on that every day in the basement, and like that was pretty much my COVID workout.
Still though, I feel like that is pretty that's pretty good for given the circumstances for sure.
Yeah.
But that's good though. And I feel like for most people their beginning is usually like either to lose a couple pounds or gain a couple pounds, and then it kind of spirals down to, like bodybuilding and like looking good and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
So for now, would you say your focus is more kind of specifically like building like a body would that, I don't know what I'm saying, but so would you say that your next goal is starting to actually plan for a competition in bodybuilding?
It's definitely been like a thought of mine in the back of my mind. Like I've definitely thought about it a couple of times. Right now, my main focus, it's complicated because I'm training for something that was supposed to happen, a fundraiser that I was supposed to be a part of that doesn't look like it's gonna be happening.
Yeah.
So I had switched my routine for the last like couple months. I've been doing more strength focused stuff with like a bodybuilding split. So the actual contents of the workout were more strength orientated. So lower repetitions but much higher weight. But still the same bodybuilding slip, still the same amount of repetitions and sets per week. But yeah, since the fundraiser thing it doesn't look like it's going to happen, I'm probably going to look at the ability to compete. I've already signed up for the Gymbro bodybuilding competition. The Gymbro one,
yeah.
That's hopefully going to happen next year.
Hopefully, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But is this charity, is it like, I noticed you mentioned it was like a 60-kilometer run of some sort. So you run as well?
Well, no.
Okay, I was gonna say that's.
I don't run. But that was the incentive behind the whole thing.
I see. Okay.
So, yeah, for November, I decided to fundraise with like Movember, which is a charity organization for men's mental health. So I had signed up to run 60 kilometers throughout the month of November. So cumulative. So every morning I was running about 2 to 5K.
That is still quite a bit, yeah.
I suck at running.
I feel
hate
you
doing
on
my
running.
cardio. So it was definitely something to be it was definitely a challenge.
And the fundraiser that was canceled, was that also running specific, or it's more like weightlifting?
No,
okay.
so this one was, I'm so mad. I'm so mad because the reps haven't, like, they've ghosted me. Like the whole organization just kind of like went like this, because it's a UK based thing, but it was a boxing charity event. So
nice.
So this one would have been I would have been fundraising for Chio, and it would have been a boxing event where I would compete against someone who is evenly matched with me. They would give us 8 weeks of free training.
Oh, nice. Same experience.
Yeah.
Okay,
and then we would fight like.
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah.
So other than like bodybuilding and then boxing, what other passions do you have in terms of fitness?
I love volleyball. I love rock climbing.
That's
I love
nice.
active sports.
Yeah. Rock climbing requires a lot of like upper body strength for sure.
Yeah.
A lot of grip strength.
Oh yeah, for sure. Finger strength too. It's real tough on the fingers.
Yeah. What would you say are like the most challenging things you had to overcome in order to become like consistent with the gym, in order to like succeed?
Honestly, I'm still learning that, because I'm stubborn. So whenever I go to the gym, I set myself goals, which is great. It's great to set yourself goals. It definitely keeps you motivated. But my issue is once I hit that goal, I have a hard time setting myself another goal, because I go, oh, I've done it. I'm here.
Oh, okay. I see.
So what'll usually happen is let's say I set a target for my bench press, and I'm like, by the end of the summer, I want to be able to hit 280 pounds. I'll hit the 280, and I'll go,
well, that's it.
Well, that's it.
You're done. You completed it. Yeah.
And then something will come up. I'll skip the gym for 2-3 days.
Yeah.
2-3 days turns into 2 weeks. And then what happens is I go back to the gym after 2 weeks. And
you can't hit it anymore.
I can't hit it anymore. And then it gets in my head. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. It's time to get like back into the flow of things.
Would you say that your goals are more or less realistic, or sometimes you're kind of like a little bit too excited, a little bit, you know?
No. I've learned that it is very important to set yourself realistic goals.
Yeah, like that way you'll actually achieve them.
Exactly. You feel great about yourself, right? But if my current bench press is something like 275, and I'm like, oh, by the end of next month I want to hit 315, I'm not going to be able to hit 315. I'm just going to kick myself in the butt for not being able to do it.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's good. How would you say your workout split is now, like with uni and stuff? Is it kind of hard to maintain? Like, I don't know how often you go to the gym. a week?
Almost every day.
Almost every day.
6 out of 7 days.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, one rest day in between. But right now I'm on Arnold split, which is Monday chest and back, Tuesday shoulders and arms, and then Wednesday legs, rest, and then that whole thing just kind of repeats itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that from, I'm assuming, the bodybuilder himself? Like, is that his workout split? Or
I think that could have been one of Arnold's splits. It's just called the Arnold split. I used to be, for a better part of, like, my fitness journey, I was on, like, a Gymbro split, which is, like, Monday, chest and tris, Tuesday, back and bis, and then Wednesday, legs and shoulders.
Yeah.
And then it would just kind of repeat itself.
So why would you say that the one you're doing right now currently is better than the Gymbro split?
I wouldn't say it's better. It's just, it's important. I think it's important if you've been working out for like a couple of years to switch things up.
Yeah,
make
of
things
course.
exciting, because it does get draining to just go in, day out, do the exact same workouts, do the exact same things. So what I've been trying to do is switch it up. So like on my second arm day of the week, on my second arm day or shoulder day, I'll do different exercises, different variations that hit the same muscle, but it's just different exercises. And I think that's important to fully develop like your muscles and fully get into the idea and make it fun, like going to the gym, making it fun.
Yeah. It's also like important to not, I guess, switch it up too often, because then you can't really track progress that way.
Yeah.
Just, yeah. But you sound like you got it good in that sense, I would say. So in terms of like diet, nutrition, would you say you follow anything strict, or it's just
I think you kind of get the gist of what I'm about to say.
Yeah, okay.
No, man. And like it sucks because I know that like that is arguably the most important thing.
Yeah.
If you want to hit your like physique goals, strength goals, endurance goals, the quickest way you're going to be able to do those is when you get your diet and your dieting under control. If you can establish a good diet, you know your maintenance calories, you know how much protein you need, and you're hitting your protein goals every other day and consistently, you are going to like provide the building blocks to your like physique. It's going to just make everything so much easier, and it's going to track. You're going to see progress so much sooner. But I just can't be bothered.
What's the biggest challenge about it?
Tracking calories is a pain. It's a pain, and no one really talks about that.
Food scale, got to measure every.
Well, not even food
meal.
scales. Now we actually have like apps. You can have an app. I've had the app where you scan a QR code, or you scan the barcode, and it gives you all the macros for anything that you scan. So all you have to do is just track how much of it you're eating per day. And making sure, okay, my protein's being hit, my calories are being hit. Because those are the two main things that you want when you're looking at, like, physique.
Would you say approximately you think that you're hitting those goals?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, then, like, in that case, I think you're okay. Especially, like, if you have similar, like, meal sizes and you can kind of approximately tell how much you're getting in there. Like, I feel like at some point, if tracking calories is something that's like a big pain in the ass and it really like demotivates you, then like what's the point? Like
it's nice for like the first couple days because you feel so organized, you feel motivated, so professional.
Yeah.
But dude, when you're hungry and before eating a granola bar, you're like, oh, I gotta scan the stupid fucking granola bar.
I feel like that wouldn't even be the hardest part. I feel like it's homemade meals.
Yeah.
That's probably like okay, I added like probably 2 tablespoons of oil. It's like, do I have to account for that? Probably. I feel like it's the homemade stuff.
Yeah. It's definitely doable though. It's 100% doable.
Yeah.
Especially with all the technology that we have today. Like it's so much easier than it would have been like 20, 30 years ago. So it's definitely doable. It's just...
It's tedious.
It's tedious.
Yeah. And would you say as like, I guess a uni student, is it hard to manage like doing groceries on time and buying like good food for yourself? I would agree.
That's for sure a challenge.
That's a big one. So in general, like what kind of motivated you to enter the Gymbro Club? I mean, the name itself probably did, I feel like.
I came across it on the club fair. So I was walking down first. I just got into second year, and like I was walking down, and I remember first year I had come across the UO Power Club, so the powerlifting club. So I was like, okay, that's cool. Like I love like increasing my numbers on different lifts, like on my squat, my deadlift, my bench.
Yeah.
But I saw that club, and I'm like, why is there not a bodybuilding club? Like I love like just training to up your physique, and like I remember first year I was going up and down the freaking club fair, and I couldn't find it. And second year I saw it, and I'm like, oh my god, perfect.
Yeah.
And I met Farnham, and he told me, like, he's like, dude, like, we're hiring. And I was like, oh, no fucking way.
Awesome.
So yeah, I sent him an email.
Would you say, like, it sounds like you would be a good fit for a personal trainer. Is that kind of something you're interested in doing, or it's not really a thing?
I've been asked. I've given tips. Like I'll always give tips.
Yeah, of course.
Even if I'm in the gym and someone needs help, I'll give tips. I'm not certified personally.
Yeah.
I think for the most part, in terms of like, I could be. It's something that I've definitely thought of. And I can see myself doing that.
Maybe it's more like a little side hustle, because
it could be.
Yeah,
it could be.
Maybe.
It definitely could be.
Especially since I would say, like, I guess marketing is your focus, because a lot of the bodybuilders or personal trainers that I've interviewed, or I'm going to interview with, they're all in like food science, or they're like they want to be dietitians or stuff. So I guess like maybe fitness is a more personal thing for you.
Yeah, no, fitness is definitely like, especially bodybuilding. It's really close to my heart. It's part of my life. Like,
yeah,
I feel off if I don't go to the gym once a day, or if I don't do something that's active. Like I don't sleep well. I don't feel good throughout the day. So it's definitely something that's like ingrained in my everyday like life.
Would you say it's kind of hard to balance all of that though?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because how many hours? Probably 2 hours in total-ish for the gym. Yeah.
2 hours a day for the most part. Yeah.
Would you say you're like more of a morning guy, or like?
Oh God, I can tell you right now. No, not right now. I've tried previously. I remember it was first year. I for a couple months actually, I was going to the gym pretty consistently with a friend of mine at like 5 a.m. at 6 a.m. every day, and it's great if you have your full night sleep. If you have that 8 hours, you can go to the gym at 5, 6 a.m. And it's a rough start. It's like starting an engine in like the cold winter. Like it's rough.
But you'll get there.
But as soon as you get blood flowing, you're there. And it's the best way to start off your day.
Yeah.
Especially when I was running for the 60K. When I was running every morning, it sucked. It
but
really
you felt
sucked.
good right after.
Oh, you feel freaking amazing. It's the greatest like start to your day.
Yeah. And would you kind of recommend, do you usually go to the gym with a friend, or is it like solo kind of thing?
It depends. For the I'll say for the most part, I do try and go to the gym with friends.
Yeah. It's like you can do 2 in 1. You work out and it's a social event.
Exactly.
It's hang out with friends.
It doesn't feel so much as a chore.
Yeah.
You got to be careful though, because I've noticed myself, sometimes workouts will be stretched out like crazy because I'm talking between sets.
Yeah.
Not focusing or joking around too much. But it definitely makes the idea of going to the gym more exciting, more friendly, because you get to do it with one of your buddies, with a friend of yours.
Also, I see like, for myself, if I plan to go to the gym with a friend and we're like, okay, 10 a.m. tomorrow, there's no excuses, like I have to be there because then I'm late. But if if it's by myself and I'm like, oh, I don't feel like 10, like let's do 11, and then 11 becomes 12, So I definitely feel that.
Yeah. Well, you know what's a good thing? I've started planning out my days, and I think that's a huge help.
Like the night before, or the morning of?
The night before.
That's good, yeah.
I plan out. I have like a to-do list for the week, and I pick off from that to-do list. I pick off what I'm able to do or what I want to accomplish the next day.
Yeah.
And like I structure out my entire day. I get my classes in order, and I figure out what I can do between my classes, what I want to do, what I can do. And then at the end of the day, I check off what I was able to do, and then
You feel good. You feel good
great.
after. Yeah.
You feel great, and it's like you're almost letting yourself down if you don't do the things that you set out to do, because when you're the one who planned it, like you're
Literally.
the one who planned it.
You're to blame.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're the one who knew, like, okay, I can do this at this specific time. This is why I'm going to allocate this here.
Yeah.
So if you don't do it, there's no.
I feel like for me, it's like I'm always like, oh, I'm gonna study these lectures. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna finish this quiz. Like, and it's like way too much and it's unrealistic. Like, I feel like
that goes back to having smaller goals, right?
Yeah,
smaller
that's true.
stepping stone goals.
Yeah, that would be more beneficial. I'm just curious, where do you probably don't really work out at the U Ottawa gym?
Yeah, not often.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do just because why not? Because some of the machines here they don't actually have at my gym.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Where do you work out?
I work out at Fit for Less.
Fit for Less? Okay, yeah, me too.
Cheap, very cheap,
Yeah.
very affordable, very
Yeah,
nice.
I feel like it's honestly the best option. Like
100%.
I don't even see what the point of going to LA Fitness, stuff like that.
Okay, like Good Life.
Good Life,
Movati.
yeah. Well, Movati, that's a different story.
Have
I
you
can
been to
see
Movati?
I've heard stories. It's like a
Okay.
spa experience
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah.
But like the only thing that kind of sells me for Good Life Fitness is the saunas.
Good Life has saunas?
Yeah. At least the two I've been to.
Oh, okay.
That's the one thing. Like I'm a big sauna fan.
Okay.
And I wish Fit for Less had that, but it's
Wow. For seven, like it's like what?
for $8.
$7? Yeah, $8.
I mean, but they have
Bi-weekly.
massage chairs. They have
That's
tanning
true, that's
beds. Like, might as well just get the sauna at that point.
Yeah. I don't personally have a need because I'm blessed enough to be able to have a sauna at home.
Oh, that is very nice.
And a cold plunge, but yeah, no. Movati, I think it's $1,200 a year.
Yeah,
$1,200 a
it's
year?
crazy.
Oh my god, $1,200 a year, and then Good Life is like pretty dang close. It's like at $800 a year.
Yeah,
And then you look at Fit for Less, and it's $250 a year.
literally.
And you have
It's crazy difference.
and it's most of them are pretty big gyms.
And there's a lot of equipment too.
A
You're
lot
not
of
waiting in
equipment.
line. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I would say that's best way to go especially if you're a uni student.
Oh yeah.
In my
Save
opinion.
every single penny you can. Yeah. And worst comes to worst, like if you don't even if you can't spare that $8 every 2 weeks, you can go. You're paying for the facilities on campus anyways. Like in your tuition.
for sure.
You can't opt out of them, which sucks, but you're paying for them anyways, so might as well just
Check
work
it
out.
out.
Yeah.
I mean, even then, like I know we don't have the best equipment at our gym at all. Like, but I feel like we didn't need a big renovation. But it's a good experience of like meeting friends that are interested in the same thing as you. Yeah, that's the main plus I would say from it.
Especially because like it's always packed. There's no
good time.
No good time to hit Mento or Moped C.
Yeah.
They're both always packed. So the culture there is like, can I work in? Like, can I work in with you?
Yeah.
Like, because you'll see 4 guys, 3 guys at one machine.
Literally.
And like just taking turns. So like that's definitely a really good way to meet people.
Yeah.
And I've met a bunch of people who are in my program or just cool laid back people who just like working out.
And then eventually you guys like can integrate the gym together and it's like it's a good environment, I would say for sure. Bonding over the crappy equipment.
Yeah.
But you mentioned like you have your own like sauna and cold plunge.
Yeah.
What would you say? Like I don't know the benefits. I don't know if you do, but like I feel good.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
You definitely feel great. There's definitely there's a high list of benefits for sauna, especially involving like blood circulation and
Heart health,
all that other stuff. It's really, really, really good for you.
Yeah.
Cold plunge has less scientific literature like involving like its benefits, and like people over exaggerate it sometimes without having real studies to prove it.
Yeah.
But I personally advocate for it. I personally love it. And I started doing it because I wanted to increase my discipline, and it was like the best way that I found.
Yeah. Would you say like you kind of go cold plunge then sauna and like back and forth, or it's like
the proper way to do it would be sauna and then cold plunge.
Okay.
But that's if you're really just trying to relax, and it's the same process that you do at Nordic. Like if you go to Spa Nordic,
I was gonna I love it.
You do your sauna, you freaking sweat, you're losing your mind, and then you hit a cold plunge, and you're like, oh.
And then you relax. There's a relaxation place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like Nordic a lot.
Yeah. I went for the first time this year.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. It's crazy. I didn't even see like half of the facilities. It's insane.
Oh no! Like I think me and my friend were there for 12 hours because we're gonna get our money's worth.
That's what we were supposed to do. Oh my god! Me and my family, like we had scheduled it. We did a whole family outing for it, and my mom was like, because my mom is a huge advocate for like relaxation and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And so she's like, we have to go like the whole day. And I'm like, what do you mean the whole day? She's like, we're gonna get there 8 a.m. We're gonna leave at 12. I'm like, you're out of your damn mind. We only ended up spending like half the day there, and I realized like, yeah, you gotta spend the whole day.
It was we were there maybe from 10 a.m. till like closing, but I would say. Crazy. We got to do every single, because I think there's like 5 hot tubs or like.
I didn't. There must be like hot
5,
tubs,
and then like 4, 5, 6 saunas, and then like 3 cold plunges, 4 cold. So we did like each cycle on a different thing, you know.
Cool. Yeah, that's super cool. I was so surprised. I remember walking in there and I was stunned. It's such beautiful, a massive, crazy place.
Yeah. I mean, there's like also like an off-brand version, but it's still like by Nordique. It's a lot cheaper. It's I
think my friend was telling me something about that.
Yeah, like
it's still in Quebec, right?
It's in Quebec, yeah.
Right.
But it's shoot, I forgot the name. Koana.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just a lot cheaper. There's not as many saunas, as many whatever, but it's still like a really good alternative.
Okay.
I think versus like, I don't know why we're talking about, but Nordique's probably like 100, and then Koana is like 60 on average. But you can, if you go past 6 p.m. on like the weekdays, it's only like $40.
What?
Yeah, but you only get like 4 hours. But still,
that's kind of crazy.
It's a good price. Yeah.
That's not bad.
I haven't been to Koana though, but I plan to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'll definitely be on the lookout for that, because $40, that sounds nice.
Yeah. But in general though, like, would you say, what's kind of some advice you would give someone starting off, not very much experience? Like, if you could go back, what is something you would like tell yourself?
Oh man, definitely research. Research is like such a big like part of that, like, because when I started out, I had no idea what I was doing. When I was training abs, I had a YouTube playlist of maybe 6-10-minute circuits that I would run through, and they were you know, like the all 5-minute ab workout, get shredded
in one week.
Yeah. Do this like once a day. Never do that. That's such a misconception with abs, but that's another story. Definitely research, understand, pick what kind of training style you want to do, because figure out your goals, right? Do you want to become more athletic? Do you want to build muscle? Do you want to become stronger? There's so many different goals, and based on those goals, you're going to be training completely different. Your split's going to look different. Your exercises are going to look different. Your everything's going to look different. Your nutrition, how much you eat, it's all going to be different. So definitely establish goals first. I would definitely see what you want to get out of fitness, what you want to get out of the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have that, then do your research.
Yeah.
Look at accredited people, kind of figure out what you want in terms of a split. If you're an athlete and you want to increase your vertical jump and you're part of a team, get info from your coaches, get info from other people online.
From valid people.
And then from there, try stuff out. Just try stuff out. Concentrate on technique above all else, and warm up. Because
warm up and cool down. I struggle with that. Yeah.
I still struggle with stretching. But definitely warming up, especially for like the big lifts. Because I've my shoulders messed up. Like both my shoulders are done. Like they're done. They're raw from benching and from not warming up my shoulders like appropriately. Taking the time to warm up prior to doing heavy lifting, heavy exercises, and concentrating on technique. Because like it's one thing to say like, oh, like I bench 225, I bench 2 plates.
But how do you do it?
Like, how do you do it?
Yeah.
And like, does your back and shoulders ache for the next 2 weeks? Like, are you tapped out of the gym after that, or you know? So, like, it's all fun and dandy to be able to bench 2 plates, but are you going to be able to bench 2 plates in another 10 years without having shoulder issues, elbow issues?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, looking out for yourself in the future as well. It's something that a lot of people don't really account for, I would say. So would you like highly recommend getting a personal trainer then? Because like you get the knowledge, you know, it's like a fast forward that whole beginning process.
Yeah. Personal trainer, if you really have no idea where to start and you've never exercised in your entire life, you're super overweight and you have all these other problems, all these other health issues, all these other things to consider, and you don't have the time and you don't have really the passion to be able to, like the time and passion to invest in doing all this research, hire someone to do it for you. Time is money.
Yeah.
Time is valuable to people. So like if you really don't have the time, I think it's definitely something that could be worth it for some people to just hire someone to just take care of all that. Someone who knows what the hell they're doing, someone who's accredited, and someone who's going to fix everything for you, because there's so many different things. Like not only are you going to have to come up with your own split, you're going to have to come up with the exercises that you do in that split. You're going to have to figure out
the
technique,
form,
the
like,
form.
yeah.
And on top of that, if you're trying to optimize it to the max and you're not like, let's say you're not in your prime like health, let's say you're in your 30s or whatnot, diet is going to be a huge thing, and diet's really, really, really complicated. So get a personal trainer is not a terrible idea.
Quick plug. The Gymbro provides free personal trainers for you Ottawa students.
And that's insane.
And they're certified personal trainers as well.
Certified too.
Yeah. But I feel like in a way I feel like we're kind of scaring people who would never have started in the gym. I feel like just anything you do is good progress. Like
100%.
Yeah, just getting there, getting the gym, it's already like huge for, you know, not starting out, and even just trying to like eat healthier or whatever that definition is for you. I feel like, you know, yeah, it's a good start. Just starting anywhere.
100%.
I would definitely. Would you say, what would you say is like your favorite thing to work out, favorite muscle group or favorite exercise, and least favorite?
Oh, I can tell you my least favorite off the bat, and that's legs. And it's a typical Gymbro answer. It's the most typical Gymbro answer. But it's just a pain, man. It's a pain because, and I'll tell you why. The exercises themselves are fun. Exercising legs in the gym is fun. 3 days later, when I still can't walk or go upstairs without looking, you know, fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's what sucks. That's what sucks about legs, because I feel like it impedes on daily tasks that shouldn't be fucking difficult, but just become difficult because my
getting up the chair, off the chair, yeah.
Exactly. So that's definitely my like least favorite muscle group. My goal for 2025 is to train more legs, 100%.
I feel like the main reason for that would be the fact that the muscles are so large that like every time you do legs, you're kind of working out such a big group of muscles that like not like arms, you know, just like triceps and like little muscles throughout the time. So not everything gets sore at once, but with the legs, like especially if you don't really separate like glutes and hamstrings and whatever, then like that's asking for it after.
Yeah, it's because I believe it has something to do with lactic acid buildup. So because they're larger muscles, you have more lactic acid that builds up in those muscles. So they're just a pain. And you use your legs every day. Like you use your legs every single day. So they can definitely take a beating. And that's another thing is when you're training legs, you can abuse your legs when you're doing quads, when you're doing glutes, when you're doing hamstrings, because the endurance that these muscles have is like not comparable to anything else
upper body
you have on your frame, because you're not constantly using every other muscle like you are with your legs, you know? But yeah, definitely my least favorite.
Any specific exercise or just the day in total?
Just the day, man. It's just the day really isn't that bad. I'm telling you, it's just the days following, because the day after you're like, oh, my legs hurt.
Not too bad though.
Not too bad. The second day it gets worse, and then the third, it's just terrible. Everything's terrible, and it just sucks to have trained something like that, and 3 days later you're still like, what the hell is going on?
That's kind of odd to me, because you mentioned like the reason why you like cold plunge is because of like not pain but like discipline in a way. But I feel like legs would be like in a way connected to that.
100% connected to discipline. Yes. But the pain, the constant pain throughout the day is a bit different.
Versus a couple minutes.
Exactly. Versus a couple minutes of cold plunge. And it's something that but training legs, the act of training legs is definitely something I'm going to be incorporating. Especially because of building discipline. It's something that I don't necessarily want to do, that I know is going to benefit me. So I should be doing it. I should be forcing myself to do something like that.
And your favorite lift? Favorite exercise, whatever.
Favorite lift will be bench press for sure.
Okay. Classic.
Favorite muscle to train? Oh God. Ooh, that's actually a really tough question. It'd be between tries, chest, and back. It'd be between those three. I love training tries. I love training chest, mostly because I love the bench. And back just always feels great. Back feels freaking amazing every time you train it. You can overload that muscle group like crazy. So you can move a lot of weight with that. Oh man, I couldn't say. Like I really couldn't say. I freaking love training all of them though.
Well, one more question I have. This one's like a little bit, I might be catching you off guard. But what's a common misconception about strength training or bodybuilding that like you'd want to kind of like debunk in a way, or kind of like?
Oh, okay. I think that recently, I feel like there has been too much of an emphasis on science-based lifting, and in part, I've incorporated science-based lifting. So
what do you mean science-based? Like,
so recently in the fitness community, you have like the gym bro, like the dude who just goes in, he picks up weight, he puts down weight, like, you know, like real simple-minded, real just go into the gym and just work out. And then you have the science-based lifter who looks at studies, statistics,
I see,
and bases it off of anatomy and where your arms could be better positioned to hit a deeper stretch in your biceps and all that.
And also like breaks and stuff, like length of breaks,
optimal rest periods between your sets, how many sets should you be doing in a week, all this other stuff. I feel like there's been too much of an emphasis on science-based lifting. Not that science-based lifting is wrong or that it's bad. I just feel like for the common Joe, you're not going to get so much of an advance on your results as opposed to just doing the simple stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's the issue. Like, people like science-based influencers specifically, while they have great information, accurate information, they fail to really like mention that the difference between doing a standard standing curl and like flicking your pinky at the top or controlling the decentric and like really focusing on the stretch, that yes, it's going to help. Yes, by percentage wise, you might increase it a little bit over time, but it's such a minute like percentage.
It would probably be most beneficial for people who are really experienced,
Yes.
have years on them. Like
super
not
beneficial
like-
for bodybuilders who are competitive, who need every single advantage, every single minute advantage to be able to get the edge on their competitors that they're competing against. But for the average Joe who's just going to the gym and you're giving them this outrageous looking exercise that demands so much stability, demands so much concentration, demands so much form control, it's just not worth it at that time for them.
Yeah.
And like they think that there's just this narrative that's going around that like this is the only way that you should be doing it.
Everything else is wrong.
Exactly.
Like,
Everything else is wrong. So I think that I might get a little bit of hate for that because like it's such a big thing right now that it's like the gym bros versus the science-based guys. But like I incorporate a lot of science-based lifting in my split, like a lot of new exercises that look really weird, look really wonky, look unusual.
But they work.
But they work and they feel good.
They get the job done.
They get the job done. Yeah.
In terms of like bodybuilding, can you just give me a little rundown on maybe how long you believe it would take to kind of bulk and then cut and then like the whole process in itself? Just a little bit about it.
It depends on how much muscle you're looking to put on and what your frame looks like as of now.
So does that depend on the division you want to compete
for
in
sure.
as well?
Because in bodybuilding you have different weight classes, right? You have like your bantamweight, your lightweight, your heavyweight, your light heavyweight. Almost the same thing as fighting. You have your weight divisions. So it really depends, right? It really does depend. But if you have a sizable amount of muscle on you already, and you envision yourself bulking a little bit to gain a few extra pounds, and then doing your cut closer to your show, and then dehydrating, and then getting ready for your show, it could be a year. Usually prep time for professionals is closer to a year, 6 months to a year. They're training, they're doing their bulk, and then they'll cut, and then they'll do their show.
Yeah. So it definitely depends on how much muscle or whatever, how lean you are beforehand.
And it depends on what your goal is, right? Realistically, you're not going to be able to put on 20 pounds of muscle in a year. It's just not feasible.
Yeah.
Like even with steroids, it's unrealistic. But if you're looking to put on about 5 pounds of muscle in a year, that's totally doable. It's 100% doable, especially if you're bulking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having this chat with me today. I really appreciate you coming.
Yeah, no worries.
So today we talked about Noah's experience with fitness, a little bit about more weightlifting tips and whatever kind of bodybuilding tips. But yeah, this episode will be posted on, and all episodes will be posted on our Spotify and our YouTube. So make sure that you follow our Instagram page, the Gym Bros. But that's everything. Thank you. Bye-bye.
That was awesome.